Oh, wow. This is bright. This is a really bright picture. Hey friends, so I thought I would probably hold off on doing this much later in my YouTube experimentation process, but since I have a majority of the gear here in front of me today, I thought what better moment than to share with you some of it. So let's take a look. First is my Sony a6500. This is the guy that I use probably, I would say on an infrequent basis, but anytime I want to make something look incredibly buttery beautiful, I will use this rig here. I got this a few years back and I threw a 16mm Sigma prime lens on it. So this thing is just a powerhouse. I feel like it's a beast, and I have not outgrown this yet. I will not upgrade until I feel like I've mastered and eked out every bit of potential from this guy. So I'd say this is a great sort of camera for the intermediate camera videographer, aspiring videographer, vlogger. This thing is awesome. I also have a 10 to 18 wide zoom lens by Sony here, and this thing is great. Anytime I need to capture more of the space, more of the room, more of my environment, I'll throw this guy onto my a6500. I have the Rode Video Pro mic here, which is just a plus up from the built-in audio, which I don't feel like is all that great. Rolling onto the aerial stuff here, I have the DJI Mavic Pro, which I purchased a few years ago as well. And I have a long history with DJI drones, but this guy has been great. This is my third one. I had to replace the first two because I was a little bit too gung-ho about where I was flying it. I do have insurance for it, which is helpful. Rolling on to the DJI Mosmo Pocket, not the mobile. I had the mobile, which I just never used because it felt super clunky with the phone, but this thing is bananas, and I'll use this on an almost weekly basis. So probably like 80% of the time I am recording on this guy. It's super discreet. Really no one knows what the heck it is. And so I just feel like I can carry it anywhere. No one's like questioning what I'm doing when I'm pointing this thing around. So this thing is rad. Again, by DJI, and I probably won't replace my drone until my next drone is about the size of this Osmo Pocket. Rolling on to some of my other mobile gear here is the Rilo 360 camera, which is rad. It has better stability than I'd say even the Osmo Pocket does, but the video quality is not nearly as good as this guy. I have the GoPro Hero 7 Black, which is dope. I've had this for about a year, and I'll use these two now as kind of my dedicated like in-car mounted cameras. So capturing different angles of the car or myself on the inside, on the outside. I'll use these two now and throw a case on them. I have obviously some Moment lenses here for my iPhone. I have yet to really use this in a video yet, but this is an anamorphic lens, which is super nutty. A wide angle lens here, 18mm, and then a macro lens, hooray, which I generally never use. A Shure mic for my iPhone to kind of plus up the audio, and then sort of a dedicated microphone here, handheld, so that I can capture audio. I'll usually put a lapel onto this, and use this on occasion, but not super often. I just got these cases, which are great. These are Nanak cases, which are waterproof and dustproof and drop-proof and resistant to many things. These are great. Got those on Amazon. A lot cheaper than the Pelican cases, and I feel like, I don't know, approaches probably 90% of the quality. And then I recently purchased this a few months back. This is a camera slider. So I'll throw my a6500 on it right here. I'll turn it on. I'll pair it with my iPhone, and I can control the speed, the variable speed, tracking left to right, which is kind of rad. And this gives me those buttery, smooth tracking shots. I use this rig for the Bose Frames video that I shot and recorded. I'll link to that below so you guys know exactly kind of how that works, or what the footage coming from my camera would look like if it were sliding all the time. That doesn't make any sense. But rolling on here, last but not least is my new MacBook Pro. And this kind of rounds out my gear summary here. But just got this. I was editing on a MacBook for a couple years, and that was great. A 12-inch MacBook. Didn't have a dedicated graphics card. Now I have one of those, which is good. They say you need one of them. It's the Radeon Pro 555X. I also have the Intel UHD graphics, sort of software-based graphics included. What I will say is I didn't spec this out to the max. I got the puny hard drive at 256. It's really easy to fill that thing up with tons of video files. But I also I edit on an external SSD, which makes life easy. So this is my rig. This is my gear. I'm super blessed to be able to have it. And again, I don't feel like I've tapped the full potential of it yet. So I'm still learning, still exploring. I probably don't need anything else than this over the next few years, but you never know. You never know what could drop, what MKBHD could get his hands on that I also want to. So, okay, so that's it. That is the short, brief overview of all of my gear, everything, pretty much everything that I use on a daily basis to create content. Again, I use the DJI Osmo Pocket for 90% of what I film. I'm using it right now. That's what you're seeing me through. There are a couple things at home that I didn't have the opportunity to share with you, like how do I carry my gear? And I love using this backpack from Incase, which I'll probably do a review for in the near future. But this is kind of like the standard operating model for me on a daily basis. If you have any questions, please ask me. But again, please don't have gear envy. I think you could probably start a YouTube channel with just your phone. That thing is ridiculous. Anything built in the last 4 or 5 years is gonna do you good. So go on, create, and enjoy. Thanks for watching.